Oh, I love this book. Hello and welcome to today's video. My name's Savannah, so welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it's September. I don't even know where summer went. It's like every year summer gets shorter. Do you guys feel that way, or is it just me? So we just finished up August, and in today's video we're going to talk about all the books I read in August and do a little monthly wrap up. So I read 6 books in August, which is actually kind of good for me, I think. I work full time and I did a little bit of traveling in August. I actually went to Charleston and I didn't get to read as much as I would like, but it was so much fun. But I did pick up a few books at some of the bookstores in Charleston. They're so cute. There's one called Sweeter Than Fiction. It's very girly and there's a lot of Taylor Swift stuff in there. There's all kinds of t-shirts and hoodies with bookish quotes on them and lyrics from Taylor's songs. And I bought a couple of shirts. I got one, My Tears Ricochet, and then I got one, Karma is a Cat, purring in my lap because it loves me. I have 2 cats. And there's Loon, being her little lazy self. Okay, let's just jump right into it and talk about all the books I read. So the first book that I read in August was The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle Jensen. This is a fantasy book. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I decided I wanted to pick this one up. So I ordered the whole series on Amazon. I tried to find it in a couple of bookstores out of town and around town, and I could not find it anywhere, so I ended up ordering the series on Amazon. And I've only read the first one so far, so The Bridge Kingdom. And I'm not going to give any spoilers. So it's a fantasy or a romantasy, probably more so in the young adult realm. It's about this girl and her sisters. There's 12 of them, and they're training for this special day where one is going to get chosen by their father as the king of this country. So the girl who gets chosen is going to marry the king of their enemy country and send her father all of the intel and everything that she finds out about this country, because there's a lot of trade issues going on. There's a lot of politics involved. So the princess, her name is Laura, she ends up, okay, she didn't exactly deserve to be the one who is chosen. She kind of made her own way into being chosen, and I don't want to say too much because after that first chapter I was like, what just happened? So I don't want to say anything. So she ends up going to this country and becoming King Aaron's bride, and the more she's there, the more she starts to fall for Aaron, and he starts to fall for her. And of course everyone there is suspicious of her because they do think she could be a spy. So all of her letters home are being vetted for codes that she might be trying to send to her homeland. As she is living there with King Aaron, she begins to learn the truth of her father and how her father has ruled and how these people of King Aaron's country have been treated and what they're dealing with. It's not just her homeland that's having issues, it's this country too. And she starts to really feel for the people of King Aaron's country. She's their queen now. It's really good. That's kind of basically the rundown of this book. I know there's some more in the series, so I'm going to pick that back up probably this fall and winter. This one I gave a 4-star just because I think there was more of a slower world building, just looks like a slower pace to start building up to what I think the series is going to go toward. So I think in the other books it's really going to pick up. I liked it. I would recommend it. Okay. The next book was Flock by Kate Stewart. I don't really know what genre this is. This is like a romance-ish book with a little bit of like a mysterious feel to it, because this girl moves to another town to live with her father because her father is like this really rich man. He owns his own tech business. He left her mom, and her mom always struggled with money. She decided that she was going to go live with her father, work for him for a year at his company. That way she can get her inheritance and she can take care of her mom. Her first day of orientation at work, she meets this guy named Sean, and she becomes really good friends with him. He takes her to a party and she meets all these other people and this other group of guys, and she notices that they all have a tattoo, the same tattoo of a raven. So that kind of sparks a little bit of like, who are these people? What are they doing? She actually starts to end up falling for Sean. And then you have Dominic, who's like this broody, grumpy, very handsome man who is Sean's brother / best friend. And he's kind of like the leader. They call him the Frenchman. Well, Cecilia, the girl, starts falling for him too. So there's like this love triangle thing going on. And there's also like this whole mystery thing that Cecilia's trying to figure out, like what are they doing? What's their intentions? What's this group? What's this secret that they're all harboring? Because they kind of talk around in circles. They'll never answer any of her questions that she has. During this story, Cecilia learns that her father has kind of mistreated the employees of his company, his factory. They weren't getting paid what they were promised and what they deserved to be paid. There's just all this mess. And then you find out that Sean, Dominic, and this group of the Ravenhood are trying to seek revenge. And that's kind of where we've left off in the book. Because there's like, I think 4 or 5 more. It was interesting. It was not my favorite book I ever read, but I liked it. Gave it a 4-star as well. Because I was like Cecilia during the whole book. I'm like, what are these guys up to? I still don't know the whole story. So I think we're going to get all of that. Because this ends on a cliffhanger too. So I'm kind of like, where's this going to go? Okay, next one. My Magnolia Summer by Victoria Benton Frank. I picked this up at Buxton Books in Charleston while I was there visiting because I wanted a book that took place in Charleston. And it's a signed copy. It's about this girl. She's a chef in New York and she's working to become like a sous chef or a head chef at one of the most prominent, best restaurants in New York. But she gets a phone call from her sister and learns that her gran is in a coma. She was in a car accident. So Maggie, the girl, returns to South Carolina because she's worried, you know, she's worried about her gran. She's kind of estranged from her sister. They don't talk a lot. So you've got that dynamic going on. You've got the mother dynamic going on. The mother likes to do her own thing. She's with this guy and her plan is to skip town. But there's this restaurant that that Maggie's grandma owned. They have cat fur in my mouth. Ugh. It's called the Magic Lantern. And Maggie starts to work there. And she sees that there's just so many changes that's been made. And it's dirty and it's nasty. After her mother took over and this guy that she's with. And I don't want to say too much. It was just really, really cute. I liked it. Also gave this one a 4-star. And I would recommend it. There's some romance too. Of course, you've got the family relationship aspect. And the sisters. It's really good. And I like when it starts mentioning places that have been in Charleston. I'm like, oh my gosh, my character's been there. I was there. So that's really cool too. Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I adored this book. I mean, first of all, look how cute it is. It's just so girly, so romancy. Like all the romance vibes are in this book. I loved this. If you want a cute summer romance before summer officially ends, and you haven't read this one, read it. I gave this one a 5 stars. This is her first adult book. She's the author of the Lightlark series, which I adore, and I'm actually reading Nightbane right now, which is book number 2 in the series. But oh, I love this book. It's about Elle, and she's a screenwriter in New York, but she's having writer's block. She had left New York because she just didn't have good luck there. So she left and went back to California. Well, now she is returning back to the city she hates, aka New York City, to house sit the apartment for her sister while it's being renovated and to work on her next screenplay or movie. Well, her next door neighbor turns out to be this guy she had made out with years ago in New York City, in a bar, in a stairwell. So you kind of got this enemies to lovers dynamic going on. He takes her around the city and becomes her muse and inspires her and her writer block eventually kind of fades, and she starts to write this story, this movie. It's just so cute. And like the descriptions, I've never been to New York City. I've always wanted to go, so maybe I'll go someday. But all the descriptions of all the different places in New York were like so awesome. I felt like I was there without being there. And I mean, look at the map. It's just so cute. 5-star, Summer in the City. Another romance book, Story of My Life by Miss Lucy Score. I love Lucy Score books. Like, she writes the best characters, and I feel like all of her characters become my friends and family, and then I miss them after I finish the book series. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one. This is book number 1 of the Story Lake series, and this one also involves a writer. She is a romance novelist who is also struggling with, you guessed it, writer's block. So on an impulse, she actually buys this house in Story Lake, moves into it with her best friend / agent, and the guys that are renovating her house, they're contractors, they're brothers. She starts to fall for one of them, who is a grumpy, broody. So this is one of your grumpy sunshine books, and I love it. I just eat it up so much. I gave this one 4.5 stars. It was so good. I loved it. And look at the sprayed edges. It's so cute. I didn't give it 5 because I didn't like wholeheartedly relate to the characters. I enjoyed the characters and I love the characters, but I just like, there was just something like deeper that I guess I was wanting. So that's why I gave it a 4.5, but it was so good and I still recommend this. Yes. The final book that I read in August, this is actually my local book club's book choice of the month, That Last Carolina Summer by Karen White. This also takes place in Charleston, South Carolina. So that was really cool to see, like King Street, Broad Street, all these different places brought up that I've been to. And I'm like, I've been there. It starts out with this young girl, Phoebe. She was struck by lightning when she was 9 years old. This young boy that was her age saw it happen and revived her. And after being struck, she started to have premonitions or dreams about things that would happen in the future. As an adult, she moved away to the West Coast, and that kind of put a stop to her dreams. But when her sister is calling and panicking and frantic about their mother having memory problems, she leaves for Charleston, but the night before she has this dream. And then when she gets to Charleston, she starts to have this dream more and more. And then she ends up meeting the boy who saved her life when she was 9. When she gets to Charleston, you know, she's got her mother who's sick, her sister who honestly hasn't grown up yet. She's had a child that she really doesn't pay attention to or really take care of that well. She stays out all night long with this guy who doesn't treat her the best. She feels like she just doesn't deserve all the good in the world that could be hers. So I don't want to give away too much, but this was really good too, and I rated it a 4 stars. And yes, I would recommend it too. So that's it. That was all the books I read in August, and I am so looking forward to September and fall, all the dark academia and all the fantasy reads that I plan to read. I can't wait. So that does it for the monthly wrap up. Stay tuned for all my September reads. I'll see you again in the next video.